Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I'm in a different room because where I usually shoot, right next to my husband who is asleep. So, I'm going to try to do a quick video. I'm going to cover a couple of shows. I've finally got caught up on everything. So, we're going to start off with Real Housewives. I've got Real Housewives of OC and Real Housewives of Dallas. I might do a second video to cover the other shows I've caught up on because this might run a little long. So, in case anybody was wondering, the reason why I'm constantly looking down is because I have notes. I keep notes. So, we're going to look at Real Housewives of Orange County from last week. Shannon left at the end of that, was gone for a 24-hour period. When they finally caught back up to Shannon, Vicky was kind of not wanting to listen to her. And at that point, Shannon, all she needed to do was talk to a friend. Someone that she trusted, somebody that she could feel comfortable with. So you to constantly rush her just to go to dinner with a bunch of people she just got into it with was very insensitive. And Kelly, you're not her mom. You're just a friend. You need to chill out. Shannon needed to be by herself for a minute. She needed to process everything that just went on. So chill out a little bit. I mean, not everything has to center around you and your feelings at that point. But Shannon, you're in a different country. You're not at home. You should have at least sent a text to everybody because they were freaking out. And you would have felt really stupid if they would have called the police to file a missing persons report. Because you're not answering your phone, you're not answering text, and you're gone for an entire 24-hour period. That was childish. I understand you needed your space. All you had to do was, I'm fine, leave me alone. And they would have known you were okay. Now, I'm going to move on to Gina for just a second. Then we're going to get back into Tamara and Shannon. Gina, maybe instead of being so defensive about your divorce and swearing everything is okay and that everything is fine and everything is so wonderful and you have it all worked out and everything's going to be great and wonderful, maybe instead of trying to act like the ladies are imposing upon you what they've gone through, sit back and listen to them. They've gone through divorces. They know what things could happen. If you don't believe it, ignore it, but at least take their advice for a small second. It's not going to kill you. Now, back to the biggest thing, Tamara and Shannon. Tamara, if you had so many issues with Shannon, you should have said something to her before your trip to Jamaica. And while you're talking to Shannon, you admit that, hey, yeah, since we had our talk 6 weeks ago, you've been a great friend. You should have told the ladies that. Instead, you gave them more ammunition for their fight against Shannon that they didn't need because it's not valid anymore. I mean, Shannon, yes, you are in the wrong in a way. When you have friends, you do tend to take things out on them because they are your friends. You feel close to them. You feel safe with them. So when you want to lash out, you do tend to lash out to those closest to you. But you need to rein it in a little bit, darling. It's time to rein it in. Now, Kelly, I'm still not sure why you're so mad about what's going on with Shannon. Shannon hasn't done anything to you. She's kind of leaning on you too. You wanted to be a friend. Now you're in the circle. Be a friend. Stop whining and complaining. But Tamara, you are continuously talking shit to Gina and Emily. You're just feeding into what problems they already have. You're keeping this going. You need to stop. Now, Emily had a very good point when Tamara was talking, and she was like, well, we just don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, and you don't. So involving yourself, and this goes for everybody in the group, when it comes to Tamara and Shannon, everybody just needs to take a step back. Because y'all don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. You don't know how they feed off of each other. And that could be a problem. It happens in the real world all the time. Welcome to the real world, ladies. Now, that catches us up on the Real Housewives of OC. Now, I know things are probably going to go sideways this week, given the previews. So, buckle up. We'll see how it goes. Let's move over to Real Housewives of Dallas. I'm so sick of this shit with Leanne. It is unreal. Leanne, you have not changed a bit. And Stephanie, honey, are you blinded by your new friendship with Leanne? Because Leanne hasn't changed. She is still going around talking about people. She is still threatening people. She is still the person she always has been. I need you to open your eyes to that. Deandra, I'm glad your mom didn't listen to Leanne and didn't start freaking out about you possibly being an alcoholic. I like seeing that your mom's on your side and defending you. You need to step up and defend yourself. You took a step with Cameron, now you need to take that step with Leanne. You need to confront her and you need to shut it down. Because if not, it's going to keep going, and your mom has a point. People are going to walk all over you if you let them. You can't let them. Now, Leanne, you were so shocked that Deandra didn't come to your dress shopping trip. You didn't go to her husband's event. Did you really expect her to come to your dress shopping event? But then for you to take that text and go to Cameron and read it like she was being a smart aleck to you is ridiculous. She said it in a very nice way. I'm busy. I've already had these things planned. I can't go. That was her way of not being a bitch to you. You should have taken it. And would everybody please stop with this whole Dallas society crap. If you're friends, you're friends. If you're not, you're not. That's it. That's the way life works. Leanne is back onto the physical threats. I mean, she just said that talking to Cam, talking about how she's ready to choke somebody. Flashback to last season. Flashback to the season before that. This is a constant pattern with Leanne. She hasn't changed any. Now, on to the pajama party. Carrie, you need to understand Deandra's hurt. And she needs her friends. Playing middle of the road is not going to work here. You're going to have to be there for her. And Mama D, I give you applause because you stood up to Leanne for Deandra. And as soon as Leanne realized you weren't falling for her bullshit, she turned and started ignoring you, just like she does everybody else. And really and truly, it all sums up to Deandra. You're 49. Be who you want to be. Stop trying to impress people. Stop trying to fit into some societal norm. Be you. Have fun. And that's it. That's all life is. Life is short. Don't worry about the next person. That wraps up the Real Housewives. So I'm going to move on to the Connors, since it actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. I watched two episodes of the Connors. The episode before Halloween and the Halloween episode. And I still love that show. It's still good. And if you don't watch it, I suggest you watch it. It's a good laugh. It's good relaxation. 30 minutes, you get to chill out and laugh at somebody else's issues. And you can relate. Now, getting into the week before Halloween. David, you're a moron. Why are you going to bring your girlfriend to parent-teacher conference to introduce her to your wife? Bad timing, dude. Really bad timing. And then, for you to act like Darlene should not have gone and gotten her kids after you've just told her that your daughter had sex under your girlfriend's supervision. I would have gone and gotten my kids too. The woman's a nutcase. I'm sorry, that's just reality there. Now, I think the next few episodes are going to focus in on Becky and her drinking, because her drinking does seem to be a problem. You can't make it through a workday without an alcoholic beverage, you've got issues. Just saying. I mean, now sometimes after I get off work, they may have driven me to drink. Doesn't mean I do it every day. And then the Halloween episode. That whole episode focused around how our society is now way too PC. Way too PC. Kids can't be kids, and that is ridiculous. You are imposing all of these stereotypes on them, and you're imposing that they may be making fun of a stereotype. Kids are kids. Unless they're taught that, they won't be that. And when you're imposing PC on them, you're teaching them that they are wrong before they even have a chance to be. The only way to learn is to screw up. That's how all of us got to where we are now, is because we've made some missteps somewhere in our lives before. So chill out. I mean, Halloween's supposed to be fun. You dress up, you pretend to be somebody else for a day. Damn, I still wish I could do that. Now, I've got 2 episodes of 911, the week before Halloween and the Halloween episode. The week before Halloween, mourning a child's death never gets easy. It doesn't. And sitting here as a parent that's lost a child, it never gets easy. You look around, you see other kids in that age bracket, and you're like, I wish my kid was here to experience that or do that, or I wish I could do that with my kid. I'm glad that the captain has his family. I mean, has his girlfriend, has his girlfriend's kids, and they are so accepting of him and so welcoming of him, because that helps him step out of that mourning process. The struggle with that will always be there. It never gets easier. So you have to take steps to normalize yourself. It's a long road. I'm almost 4 years down that road, and it doesn't get any easier. And that was pretty much, that whole episode kind of focused around what issues he was going through. And the crew getting dosed with LSD was super, super messed up. But it did help him move past that one point. Let's see how the rest of it goes. Now on Halloween, Hen got confronted with her dad, who left her when she was 9, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's in the hospital, he's on life support, and you have to make the decision to save his life, or to keep him on machines, because he was never coming off the machines, or to let him go. Hen struggled through that entire episode of that, and I'm glad she did finally decide to let him go. Going through his house, she got to realize that he did realize the mistakes he had made, and that was healing for Hen, and that left her in a spot where she could make that decision and have a clear mind, and that is good. Now, the whole situation with the mom popping up now, you're yelling at your husband saying, I just wanted you, I needed you, and you were in another country. You knew you were married to a soldier. You knew that was a possibility. How can you take that out on him? You can't. That was your deal. And yes, I know how hard it is to have a kid with disabilities. My daughter had disabilities. It's a struggle. And I raised my child for several years on my own with no male around. You have to buck up. And you running out to take care of your mom and then just never coming back, that's bullshit. And we ended the episode with Buck moving on from Abby. He needed to. I mean, Abby did help him become a better man, but Abby's not there now. And Buck needs to be that man. It's sad, and I wish him the best, but he needed that. Alright guys, I actually got us caught up. Amazing! Now we have some more Housewives are going to start tonight and next week. We've got the other seasons wrapping up, so we're going to have some other stuff coming on. 911 this week, The Connors, all of our Real Housewives shows. Some juicy stuff's going on, so I'll be there to watch it. Now, again, I apologize. Different setup. I'm sitting here holding my phone recording this, so I know it's a little shaky and a little crazy, but I wanted to get this in. I wanted to get caught up. Hopefully next video I'll be back in my regular setup and it won't be so shaky. But for now, bye guys.